Hey everybody, welcome to another essential conversation here at Wellbeings. And we're here to talk about the reset retreat that's happening in November. and yeah, this is Dermot. Dermot's the other half of the retreat. Dermot's in Portugal, and I'm checking in here from Bali, Indonesia. And we've been asked, I've been, excuse me, I've been getting a lot of emails and messages to find out what exactly is it that we're doing here. What's the benefit? And I think in the next couple of weeks we're going to come in and we're going to share some of the benefits each week, different benefits that we're noticing. And I had a message, so let me share one of the messages that I got during the question. And this came from a successful businesswoman, and she said, "Hey Nigel, would this help me with being able to be more honest?" And I said, I don't want to name any names, but I said, "Hey, tell me more." And she says, "Well, there's a way in which I always need to embellish. There's a way in which I always need to add on to the story. There's a way in which I always have to tell those little white lies." And I asked her, "Why do you think she did that?" And she says, I'm not really sure, but she did it her whole life. And, when you come onto a program like this, it's one of the things we do in group is to just create a safe space where we can explore our struggles and then realize that we're not so alone with them. And then in that commonality, then we start to get different perspectives and maybe even discover some truths behind why we have certain behaviors. And for someone who embellishes a lot, somebody who needs to be more than, then it's kind of compensative behavior, compensating for some deficit, some feeling of less thanness, maybe sadness or loneliness. So in our program, so I said to her, absolutely, this would be a wonderful fit for you, because in behind that coping strategy, there's some sort of grief or some sort of pain or some sort of something that's hard to be with by yourself. And when you were young, you learned to, be superwoman, or learn to, be and to never let anybody too close. She says, yeah, my husband's saying that all the time. So basically, I said, yeah, we can help you explore what's underneath that coping, that survival strategy. And when you are in the sort of group program for a week, then you can slowly and gradually start to let your defenses down a little bit. And you could have some new lived experiences of what it would be like being vulnerable. I said to her, when was the last time she cried with someone? She said she can't remember when she did that. She says if somebody died and she cried at a funeral, but it's just not something she does that often. And I'm saying, well, crying's not the end destination, but it could be a part of the journey, that when you would feel safe enough, that could be something that she could explore. So I can't give definites. She said, can you give me a definite? I said, no, I can't give you any definites, but I can guarantee you that there would be an invitation to go where you haven't gone before. And that's why, Dermot, we know too well that we have to be a little bit ready and a little bit courageous to want to go to some new territory. And that's what this is really for. This is for people who really want to have a more fulfilled life. Something's missing. And in this case, what seems to be missing for this one lady is, she's exhausted trying to be more in every aspect of her life. And she's drained. And she feels dead by that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can hold it. That's very welcome, right, Dermot?
Yeah. What you normally find every single time before you go on a retreat, or I found it every time before I go on a retreat, somehow it starts coming to, the pressure will come to a climax before you go on it. You know you're going on the thing, yeah. So you'll find that these emotional complexes, whether it's fear, whether it's sadness or grief, is going to start coming. You see a lot of anxiety and fear before people go on the retreat. And because we're facing, we know consciously, but we also know on a subconscious level that we're ready to actually go and face. We're not distracting ourselves anymore. We're actually going. We're taking the brave step with courage. And when we make that step, that action towards doing this, doing a retreat, or doing something like this, or going to a counselor, it will bring the emotion to the forefront naturally. So it'll happen. So whatever, you can never say, I'm going in here to deal with anger, I'm going in here to deal with fear, I'm going in here to deal with grief. You can't say that, because whatever has to come out next will come to the forefront by itself naturally. So to trust in that actual process of doing it. But something came into my mind there, Nigel, where when you were talking about this lady's story, and you were saying that she's drained. Am I correct saying that she's drained of energy? That she's feels a bit empty. Am I correct saying that?
Yeah, the life force is very low at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And this is when it can come from many things, but even overextending in the wrong way. And what we actually really need, and this leads us, it's actually very relevant actually to what we're probably going to do today with a short practice, is that all of us, all of our bodies, all of our minds are looking for the experience of love in our bodies, because it's it gives us a great sense of well-being to have that love in our bodies and in our minds. And we don't really know how to generate this love. We're not taught how to generate. We weren't taught in school how to generate the love within our hearts. Now it's an energy, right? It's an energy, and we can generate it, and we don't need to understand it intellectually. We can do it, and you experience it, and you know it's there. Okay? And when we start to generate more love, and it's very, very simple to do this, and you do 5 minutes every day, just mix it in with your driving or whatever you're going to do. It can completely change your life from that aspect of getting fulfillment, feeling more genuine, deep happiness, and more love and more well-being. And once we have more love for ourselves, our bodies, our organs, we need to start with ourselves. We need to start with our bodies, with our organs, loving the anger, loving the fear, just loving this. Because once we fill this up with love, we've endless love. We can give it to our partners in our relationships, because our relationships go dead because we're not feeling any more love. Relationships with our children, relationships with people in work, because we're empty of love. But the first thing is to fill ourselves up with love, with kindness. And we can do that. And it's an actual energetic thing. It's real. And then we can get to a stage of actually having limitless love. Because it comes through us. It comes through us. And when you have that, we can mend dead relationships that just go stagnant and stale after 5, 10 years, 15 years. They just go stale. It's because we're not feeling the love. The intimacy is gone. People say even like our sex life is no good. Yeah, the intimacy is gone. When you feel the love, rather than working on trying to fix the sex life, if we work on trying to fix the love within ourselves, okay, fill ourselves with love, that love will naturally flow out. So the intimacy in the sex life will sort itself out. The intimacy that's missing, and it's the love that's missing. So later on, if we have time, we could do a short practice on that anyone can do. And you do 5 minutes a day when you're driving, when you're washing the dishes, when you're sweeping the floor, when you're on the computer, about 10 minutes a day. And we'll start changing the biochemistry in your body. We'll start relaxing the central nervous system in the body. We'll start reducing the stress, and we'll start generating love within the energetic heart of the body. And that's the starting point. It's actually very quick to work. You don't have to wait for months and months and months and months for that to start kicking in.
I love that, Dermot. I love that because this is why, you come in from a different doorway than I come in from. but we end up sitting in the kitchen together.
Yeah.
You know, so I hear you talking about, Dermot, talking about an energetic practice that we're going to do shortly to demonstrate this filling, the love in the heart. And the way I work with helping someone walk towards self-love or self-acceptance, which is in the group, is really about learning. I want you to hear this now, learning to love the parts of us that we learned not to love. And that's self-love. It's not massages. It's not buying yourself, fancy clothes. Although that's acts of, of loving to an extent. But the sort of the really more uncomfortable, deeper work that really emanates a sort of an acceptance and a way to be with yourself and all our imperfectness is the learning to feel safe, to start to reveal the parts of us that we have judged to be bad, not good enough, insignificant, to allow shame to come, to allow guilt to come, to dare to allow the helplessness and the loneliness and the hopelessness that we may feel to be seen by others, and to experience then what it's like to be received by others in a way that we may never have experienced. And by allowing ourselves to be received by others in a group dynamic like this helps us have a new lived experience of, wow, like I'm feeling this thing that I used to judge, that I used to be critical of. And while I'm feeling it, I'm being with it. Nobody's rejecting me. I'm feeling that I actually am closer to everybody. And this wonderful sense of belonging starts to happen. And this, underneath the umbrella of belonging, you really start to challenge these parts that as a child or earlier in our life, we judge, oh, well, we can't show this because that's weakness. Or we can't show this because we'll get rejected. Or I need to be this so that I'll be loved. So whenever we can start to challenge that, there's a filling up then and an aliveness, Dermot, of that self-love, that sort of those enlivening of the spirit and of the soul in a way. But just in simple layman's terms, you're accepting yourself and all the parts, and there's something relieving about that and something so loving about it.
And it's a balance, right? The balance. Because first of all, we can learn to love ourselves, and we actually feel this. It's actual, right? It's real. We learn to love it. But it's a balance between not trying to change or push away any of the uncomfortable feelings that you're talking about. What you're talking about is essential, Nigel, because that's what, to face all those challenges on a cognitive level, behavioral level, and actual emotional level is absolutely essential. Otherwise, we're in avoidance. If we're trying to create love so we don't have to feel, right? No, that's not what it is. We generate the love, okay? We cultivate the love, but we also always feel what's been manifested, what's coming up, right? And we never try to change the anger or the fear or whatever. We can love it, but you don't try to change it. You have to let it work its process by itself. If we try to change it, we were resisting it, and then it'll multiply. So we just love it and allow it. And desperate and comfortable. Oh, it's desperate at times, right? It's not easy, right? But we just love it. Learn to be with it. It doesn't matter. It can be an hour, it can be a day. It will pass.
With 10 minutes.
Yeah. And then by facing those emotions like that, with that approach, it does tend to move on that little bit quicker. And then you go deep. Then you're going deep into real deeper, say, happiness, real deeper love, right? It's not a surface. And this is a process that just keeps going on. But overall, it does get better, better and better. But the process, it's a lifelong process. That's just the reality of it.
And Dermot, I love that. And sometimes for most of the people watching, it's very hard to achieve that. that level of acceptance, that level of being able to be with attention. So I want to speak to another part of this, which might be a nice entry point. Because whenever we have these parts that are, and I haven't never met anybody who doesn't have some part of themselves that's vulnerable, that they feel difficult to expose, or a part that they want to bury.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of ways that we overextend. There's lots of ways in which we become overly adapted. There's lots of ways we become fixers, rescuers, supermen and superwomen, where we learn not to have any needs. You know, this is where the deadening after a while starts to be felt. You know, this sort of, I call them survival strategies that worked really well when we were children, but when we get older, they can really deaden us. And actually, we chase a thing called validation and approval.
We're looking for
recognition. Yeah, looking to get filled in this sort of fool's gold, and we avoid the intimacy, the empathy, and the connection. And that's really what we're trying to do. We have compassion for that, because that defensive style of relating, there was a reason why that was developed when we were young. So we got to understand it more. It's just, we can't just banish it. We have to understand it and have compassion for it. But in the program, over the journey, we'll start a process where you'll be able to understand those, possibly see them more clearly, be able to go, whoa, I'm noticing I'm doing that again. Oh wow, like here's that self-criticism. Oh, there's that there. I'm trying to fix again. Whoa, I'm avoiding something here. Okay, and in the program, you might actually be able to explore the sort of vulnerabilities that's underneath that. And I love your practice, Dermot. We were talking about filling up, accepting what's here, being able to sit in the tension of what's here. Sometimes that's possible. Sometimes it's not possible. But in this program, we're just meeting you where you are, and and everyone has a different entry point. Some of us are going to get a part of it really quickly. Other ones, we're going to be struggling because we're getting in touch with something that feels really uncomfortable. And other people, you know, it's just like, whoa, like this, I'm just going to stick out here in the start because this is where I feel more comfortable. So there's no push from us. It's just a real invitation for you to bring whatever you feel able to bring forward, to face, to lean into, and to maybe allow others, the group, to accompany you in. And I feel, and then that's the love. So what a lovely segue, Dermot, into your practice of that we're going to do here, where we're going to, I don't even know what we're going to do. What are we going to do?
We're free flowing, Nigel. Yeah, we're free flowing. We're going to flow. What we're going to do? You don't know what we're going to do, no? I didn't talk to you about this.
Yeah, well, you might have talked to me about it, but I'm demonstrating my imperfectness. I forgot what we were going to do.
What we're going to do, Nigel, right? We're going to do the Qigong practice. And, you know, some people say it's the cream of the Qigong, and it's the inner smile. And the inner smile, it sounds very, very simple, right? It is very simple, but it's massively profound because of the effects it has on the body. So if everyone can do this, but if you're particularly struggling with stress, burnout, illnesses in the body, right? Anything like this in the body. If you're feeling empty, overextended, if you're feeling a lack of love, a lack of intimacy, right? Like, we're hitting them all on this. This works so fast. And I didn't know this 20 years ago. This is only coming in quite recently into my area now. And it's so powerful because the mind stops taking, and the mind will actually start giving into the body. You know? So it's the most important thing is just we'll go into the experience now. We'll keep it short. And if you really want to try this afterwards, you do maybe 5 minutes a day. We'll talk about this afterwards. Let's get into it first. Do it first, and then we'll talk about how you can integrate this into your life. And it's the integration into your life of 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day that will completely change your life. Doing a little tiny bit every day. That is the absolute key to completely changing your life and changing what's happening inside. So we'll talk about that later.
What would we call this? What is this exactly?
The inner smile. Self-love.
I'm gonna smile. Okay.
This,
I'm
this,
gonna let you take the screen here just so that you can fully step into it. I'm gonna let you lead us in here, Dermot.
okay, so we're going to close our eyes for most of this. So whoever's watching this, if you want to give it a go, this would be really good. And we just relax the body. You can be upright or you can be leaning back in your chair. It doesn't really matter. So we get our right hand and we put our right hand in the center of our chest. Maybe just a little bit over to the left-hand side of the center of the chest. And that's where the energetic heart is. So you're breathing into the chest, breathing into the stomach, and let go and let the body totally relax. Breathe into the chest, breathe into the stomach, exhale through your mouth, totally relax. Now in between the center of your eyes, it's called your third eye. Just focus on that area. And in your mind's eye, you can see a yellow golden light. As you exhale, you'll feel the warmth energy from your chest going up into your head and out through your third eye. Out to this smiling sunshine. As you inhale, the yellow light gets sucked in through your third eye back to your heart. And you just smile with your mouth closed. Just smile. Smile to your heart. Smiling the golden energy to your heart. And as you smile, all the muscles around your heart just relax. We tap the top of our head with our left hand. Just tap the crown of your head. Just feel the top of your head. Smile to the top of your head. The energy from your heart goes up to the top of your head. Each time you exhale, the energy grows. Now as you exhale, allow this loving energy and gratitude go up into the sky. To the heavenly rain. It's universal love. Just keep sending love and gratitude up. You'll feel it coming down over your body, back into your heart. With your right hand, just spiral around the heart. You're collecting the energy. Smile to the heart, like it's a little child. Send the energy down to the left-hand side of your body, to your ribs, to your spleen, pancreas, and stomach. Just smile. You'll visualize a yellow light. And allow all the cells just soften. They all fill with love. A spiral on the heart again with your right hand. Collecting the energy. Now get your 2 hands and put them on your lower back, to your kidneys. And smile to your kidneys. You visualize a light blue light. Just smile. Once you smile and you feel the area, the love and energy will just go there by itself. You don't have anything to do. You can't get this wrong. There's no effort. And allow the body to move if it moves or sway or rock. Smile into the kidneys. Now one heart and the whole lung area. Send love into the lung area. This is where we hold a lot of grief, a lot of sadness. And allow the loving energy go into the lung area. Once you feel the chest, feel the lung area, it'll just go there by itself. With every exhale, the love and energy just expands into the lung area. Now get your left hand and just rub underneath your right rib. Let your liver visualize a light green light. Feeling the liver. The liver does so much work. The liver holds a lot of stress, holds a lot of anger. Just allow the love and energy go to the liver. We'll harmonize the liver. Just feel the area where the liver is. The love and energy will go there by itself. You don't need to do anything. Now we're going to put our 2 hands, one on top of the other below the navel. Just about 2 inches below your navel. Very slowly we bring the hands up to the left and down to the right in a spiral. Just gathering the energy up to the left, down to the right, and just feel the skin. Feel the skin up allow the love and energy go to this area. This is your center, your hara, or your lower dantian. Now change it to the other direction. Down to the left and up to the right. Down to the left and up to the right. Just in a spiral. Now just leave your two hands 2 inches below your navel. And focus your energy on that area. It's your lower dantian, it's your center. And allow the love and gratitude go from your heart to this power point of the body. This is where you store your energy. And you ask for the energy to stay with you, and it will. Just smile to it. Smile to your lower dantian. Like you're smiling to a child. So that's just a short version, Nigel, of the inner smile.
Well, Dermot, I love that. There's a sort of calmness that's here. I'm super relaxed after that, but I feel this warmth as energies moving around my body, and my heart feels more expanded and more filled. It's such a loving thing to do. You could do it before you go to bed. You can do it on your lunch break. You can do it when you wake up in the morning. It's a quick little thing. It takes you home to yourself.
Like this is a science in itself. There's a whole neuroscience aspect to this, which I don't really know my whole neuroscience end of it, but the Taoists knew all about this. This goes back 4,000 years. It completely affects the chemicals in our body and our brain, and you can feel it in your body. That's just a kind of little short version, right? And it's good if you want to give it a go. You do this several times, okay? So you start getting the feel of doing it like that. But the most important thing to this is, right, don't worry about getting it right or wrong or anything. It's to start to experience the smile, like you're smiling to a child. And then you feel the love in the heart. That's it. You've changed from stress mode to relax. Okay? From the stress hormones to the hormones that start healing the body. By just smiling like you're smiling to a child. And then you start to build love within the body. And it's so powerful. Now, once you start getting the feeling of it by practicing it a few times like this, right? It's good to do it like sitting and have a little bit of structure. Then what you do is you build it on top of a habit you already have. So if your habit is, I get in the morning and I get into my car and I drive to work, okay? And I did this 2 weeks ago, right? So I said the first 5 minutes, I'm not going to turn the radio on. I'm going to smile. And I'd smile, right? Like that, did the smile, right? And feel it for the first 5 minutes. Wow, it's changing my whole day. So I said, every time I'm going to get back into the car, as in and out, I have to 5 minutes of smiling, yeah. So it's not taking up any time. You're doing it, and I mean, it was changing. And even though I had a lot of stuff going on and conflict, it helps you through the conflict. So if you're washing the dishes, you say, now I'm going to smile for the first 5 minutes of washing the dishes, brushing the floor, the first 5 minutes of doing that. So you're building a habit, a primary habit, on top of an existing habit. And that's the best way to build a habit. And now the habit will come from a habit that may be a stressful habit to a nurturing habit. And you haven't changed what you're doing, but you're changing the how. This is the crucial part to changing our lives internally, is to change how we are when we're actually doing the action or the task or the work. You're in your office, you go, okay, the first 5 minutes, I'm going to do this, right? Or every time you go back to the computer, the first 1 minute, okay, I'm not going to turn it on now. I went for the cup of tea, back, 1 minute, smile.
I love that. I love that.
Never turn the computer on, right?
I love the idea that the smile is the type of smile you would smile to a young child.
That invokes.
Yeah. It's very I enjoy the symbolism of it because, again, like a lot of the work on the program. So Dermot, first of all, thank you for that, because I feel that I'm going to try to do this more often. But I have this warmthness in me now that it's been a full day over here. It's late into the evening, and I'm perked up. I'm filled. So imagine what that would be like if you were working at it from the emotional, but we're learning to be with the emotions, learning to love the parts that we learn not to love, the parts that we hide from the world, and maybe in those places are some of our best parts. So imagine that aliveness coming alive. Imagine these ancient Taoist practices, ancient Qigong sort of practices that are going to be coming through, charging up your being, soothing, almost like healing balm to soothe the wounds that are coming, that are being able to be opened, and then we need to also soothe them. So yeah, you have to be courageous. Yes, we do go into the pain, and we've got all these other practices that soothe, like ointment to these places that need filled. And I love that practice, Dermot. And for you viewers watching, there's going to be lots of this, intensively over the period.
And I'll tell you why it's so powerful for healing the body. This is what the Taoists would say, because what happens is our mind will scatter one direction, our cognitive mind, our heart action, right? And what they say in the Taoism is your soul, right? But that's in Taoism, going into that. That'll be off in another direction, your body be off in another direction. We're scattered, right? And this starts causing illness, right, in the body when we get scattered. So what we're doing here is we're getting our mind, we're bringing our mind in, we're focusing the mind right in, right? And then we're getting the mind, and then we're connecting the mind into the heart, and we've got that, right? So it's actually energy, it's connecting right in, and then we're connecting right down into the heart. That's what they'd say your soul is from down there into your dantian, and you're connected, and you're bringing everything in together. And then what happens is all the cells in your body works better. All the healing processes in the body work better when you're in together. When everything's in together, then you can command. You go, okay, I want energy to go to my toe. Done. You've got the commander in chief here, and they're connecting in, and they'll start commanding where you need energy, healing energy in the body, because you're not scattered anymore. So you bring it in, and then you're in command of what's happening inside and outside.
So any of you wonderful viewers who are watching, and any of what we're saying today, and we're going to be talking every 2 weeks, but if anything sort of resonates from what me and Dermot have shared, please reach out. If something comes alive as we talk, reach out. If something kind of gets triggered, please reach out. This is these podcasts that it's just educational to help you understand a little bit about what's out there, what's possible. And even if you don't want to come and join us on this wonderful experience, and see how you can incorporate like what Dermot has shared into your daily life. This is what we want to educate and share, some things that we find that are helpful to improve our relationship with ourselves and with the people who matter in our lives. So I'm very filled right now, Dermot, and I'm supposed to be going to sleep now, so I have to work on that. I'm so filled.
Oh, you're gonna go straight sleep with that, because your central nervous system is relaxed. It's just that your energy, when you focus in, you start bringing the energy back into the body, so your energy's not drained. That's all that happened there.
It's yeah. I got perked up from it, so I love that. So thanks, Dermot, for that. And again, anybody wants to find out anything, please reach out to the either Well-Beings here or at or just put little comments either in this chat, or reach out to the website at the resetretreat.eu. Is that it, Dermot?
It is, yeah. That's it.
And Dermot, a final word for people who are needing to fill up their hearts.
It's wow, I think this would be worth it for a week. I tell them, just do this, and I'll give you a little challenge for a week, right? Because it really works, right? And I love people to help them change their lives in a positive way, especially because we're in a stressed environment, right? Things are stressed, yeah. Even if we're chilled, it's stressed, the environment. So you pick a habit in the morning, whatever I said it is, either driving or going upstairs to your office now, that's the way it is now, right? Don't turn it on, have the cup of tea, do 5 minutes before the computer. Just smile. Don't worry about the routine. Smile like you're smiling to a child, and just start smiling to different areas of the body, or smile to your anger, smile to your discomfort. It doesn't matter, because you're beginning to love all these areas that you were talking about. This is how we really learn to love the shadow side. I'm loving the anger. I'm loving the discomfort. I'm loving this jealousy. This is how you really love it, right? This is how you really love it, right? So start just to love whatever's there, right? 5 minutes. And then if you do that 3 times a day, when you're in bed at night, lying in your bed, just lie there and just love the body. 1 minute, 2 minutes, doesn't matter, right? Do that for a week, right? That's 7 days, right? And see how you feel. Now, if that goes really good, which it will, and then you really want to change your life, you do it for 49 days. That's 7 sevens. That's 7 weeks. And you will create a habit subconsciously after 7 weeks, 49 days. You do that for 49 days, boom, it becomes a total habit, a total new, primary, healthy habit in your life that can completely change how you're doing things in your life. That will bring about the fulfillment, bring about this fullness that we're looking for in our life. This will bring about the fullness. This one thing will bring about the fullness. You can meditate, do all this, yeah, you won't get the fullness, right? This will bring about the fullness if you're not feeling fulfilled in your life. Yeah. That one thing, 5 minutes, 3 times a day. That's it. For now.
And please let us know. Message us and let us know how you go.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from people.
We would love that. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and it's just a real honor to be here, sharing the good work. And Dermot, thank you for being here. It's always great to be with you, brother.
Yeah.
And that's wishing everybody well. Reach out. Know that we need people in this world to do this thing called life. So reach out, share. Let someone know if you're struggling. Pick up a call, or pick up a phone, or text somebody if you need help. The main thing is that not to be alone with the weight, and to try this exercise where we can start that process of checking in with ourselves. Even that, beyond like just slowing down to want to love ourselves, to want to connect with our organs or our emotions is such a beautiful thing to do. And I wish you the best with that. And until we see you again, take care and be well. Thank you. Thanks, Dermot.
Thank you.